Hello, hello, and welcome. It is a beautiful day, and it's the perfect opportunity for us to get together and learn together. I have a wonderful agenda for us today. We are still in the framework of support and especially resilience, how we can become more adaptable, how we can bounce back easier no matter what kind of curveballs life likes to throw at us, what kind of situations we encounter, being able to respond, being able to bounce back in a good way, learn from it, and then move on. So that's the intent for this month and what I've been sharing with you guys. And support plays a very important role in all of that because our ability to accept support from others, to not feel alone in times of need, to know that we can reach out and to also have a circle of friends and family members and acquaintances, community members that we feel comfortable asking for help. So those are all aspects that really play hugely in our ability to be resilient. And so today, as you can also read it in the description, I'm going to invite you to play with the idea of actually creating your resilient self. You can already put the properties into your mind about who you want to be in certain situations, and if certain things happen, or just in general, I would like to have this kind of an attitude. And you can literally pre-program your mind to then have those resources available when it really matters. And there is a certain process that we're going to do. And what it really is a law of attraction process of manifesting something from the vortex, which is the vague description. It's the idea. It's where it's an energetic property into then a dense manifestation where we're then crossing the threshold from the wave function into the actual particle. We are the observer. We are the ones who are holding space with our intent for what we want to have happen. And then ultimately that becomes a physical reality through our actions, through our thoughts, through our emotions, through the words we're saying, through the actions we're taking. And then lo and behold, we are going to create results. So hello and welcome everybody. It is such a pleasure to be with you. I've been on a 10-day trip and it's awesome to be back. Had a wonderful, wonderful time. Got to hang out with some really amazing people and got to do some beautiful things while I was up in the mountains. And now I'm back in the desert again with the family. And of course, that's also wonderful. And I have more to share with you. I had a lot of time to think. I had a lot of time to make notes and also do my own work while I was teaching. That of course always is a part of it, and I have a lot to share with you guys. That's what I'm saying. Lots of energy and lots of ideas of things that I hope are useful to you, that are going to be great insights for you, giving you some ahas. Hey, I haven't thought about it like this before. And also spurs you into action, because that's what Quantum NLP is all about. It's about putting the law of attraction in action. We really want to do something with it. You know, I'm super interested in the practical applications of these beautiful principles and what we can do with them on a daily basis. And so this is super practical today, and it will be useful to you in those times when you really need to be resilient. Okay, so let's dive right into it. I'm very conscious of your time. I want to honor that, and we want to make it very practical. We want to make it very succinct and clear. So just follow along. And of course, I'm also going to invite you to watch it afterwards again once I've downloaded the recording. You can also find it on YouTube. And the other thing is that I would really like for you to share that with your friends, the people in your life who could use more resilience. Please share this information with them and invite them to also participate in their own growth. Alrighty, super. Thank you so very much. And we are going to start with our intent. Please set your intent for yourself right now. What do I want to get out of this time that I'm investing right now with Christiane and the group? Is there something specific that you're working on? Is there something more vague? Just a general interest, curiosity? So just state that to yourself. And for myself, in my own personal growth, this is a natural step. And I'm just going to enjoy this as I'm leading you guys. I'm going to do it myself afterwards as well. And what I want from that is the momentum that I have been able to create and maintain. And I just want to take that to the next level. So that's what I want out of being here in our group this evening. That's funny. I got a little froggy there as I was saying that. Some stuff. I might have to go back to some other videos for the healing work and deal with that, whatever my part is saying there. And today is a really fun and creative process. So no, we're not going into the past. We're not doing any kind of resourcing or healing or re-imprinting or reframing or anything like that. Today is all play, all fun fantasy. Does that sound cool? So let's do that, you guys. All right. And we are going to start. You got your intent. Then let's breathe a few times, nice and deeply, to anchor in that intent. And then as you're breathing deeply, I would like for you to think about yourself in the future. If you were to project yourself half a year into the future, a year into the future, perhaps even 5, imagining what's going on in the world, imagining what's going on in your neighborhood, in your circle of family and friends, in your work environment. Just get a sense. I know, of course, you can't pinpoint it. Just get a sense. And notice just the kind of level of resilience that you would like to have available. Whatever is going on around you in those different areas of your life, starting with your own health and well-being, how you are moving through life. Notice your resilience with yourself. How quickly do you bounce back from negative emotions when your buttons get pushed? How quickly do you bounce back when you get sick? How quickly do you bounce back when things happen that you didn't anticipate? And that, just like I said in the description, can be learned. To be in a place where you are able to pick yourself up in that moment of defeat, frustration, sadness, whatever emotion you choose to engage in those moments, because those are rehearsed patterns. We all learned our coping mechanisms throughout life. We learned what worked. We learned what didn't. And we developed habits. So just honor that in yourself right now. And you did the best you could. You just did the best you could. There was nothing wrong with it. We just did the best we could with the resources that were modeled to us. We usually looked around us and went, hey, they're getting some results with that behavior. I'm going to try that too. And that's usually how we develop those habits over time. So just honor that in yourself right now. Keep breathing deeply. Yeah, that's right. So, and now it's time for something new, right? You have grown, you have developed. You're not the same person you were 40 years ago, or even 20 years ago, or 10 or 5. And it's time to upgrade your program, just like you upgrade your phones here and there, how you upgrade your software. That's just what we do. We also need to upgrade because we are a thriving organism. And so as you're thinking about that, metaphorically as well as literally, that it's time for an upgrade, I would like for you to simply start visualizing yourself. This is how I see myself when I know that I'm on my path to becoming more resilient. When I project myself a couple of years into the future and I look at myself, I can clearly see, hey, she's really resilient. She's got her act together. When stuff happens, she just bounces right back. She's resourceful. I can see that this person is resourceful. So give yourself that right now. See yourself. Project yourself into the future. Get a visual of yourself. You can make it a still picture. You can make it panoramic. You can make it black and white. You can make it color. Make it a movie. Make it into a cartoon. Whatever works for you, okay? And see yourself and look at the specific characteristics that let you know that you're being resilient. There's something about your stance. There's something about how you hold yourself, your shoulders, how you're gesturing. The word noble comes to mind. I like that. There is a quiet power, there is a serenity about her when I look at her like that. That's just the visual. So then there's the auditory. So how does this person express himself? If there is a moment of trouble, that's the person who says, don't worry, we got this. This is going to work out. Let me figure this out. Or, hey, don't worry, this is going to be okay. So this person speaks words of power. This person speaks words of wisdom, of comfort, of connection and belongingness, trust. I want their words to be like a warm hug, so that the person who receives the words immediately feels comfort. That's what I'm putting in there, in my visualization of Christiane, who is super resilient. So do that for yourself as well. Those components that really speak to you, whatever it is that's important to you. And we're just talking visual and auditory right now. Of course, we're going to have a kinesthetic component as well. So yeah, so there would be, for example, that physical component as well, of the hug, the pat on the shoulder, a comforting hand on the hair, the way the person moves, that's where the gestures come in, the warmth they're emanating. So all of those components coming together, the depth of their breath. Just by breathing deeply, you can entrain other people into breathing more resourcefully. When something around you happens, the best thing you can do is breathe deeply and send out that energy of calm, serenity. It's going to be okay, especially in moments of stress. So imagine being that person who does it automatically. In that moment of stress, you're that beautiful anchor of calmness and serenity, solution-oriented, resource-oriented, calm, moving forward, taking care of what needs to be taken care of. Yeah. Now I would like for you to simply imagine, what are the kind of beliefs that this person has, you in the future, that are simply normal about the world and about themselves. I can do this. Anything has a solution. We can do this together. I got you. So put in your own dialogue that is just normal for you in those moments. Those beliefs, those quick little belief statements. I am statements. I am safe. So I am would be also identity statements. Like you could say, I'm a hero. Or I'm a helper. I love to serve. Just trust what comes to you. I am statements, quick little statements about the world. This is easy. It can be done. Anything is possible. Where there is a will, there is a way. Those are belief statements. Those are those statements that we wrap around reality. Those are those little frameworks that we set that then determine what is able to fill it in. The framework will determine the content of the picture. You can call it your attitude. And when you go into the day with I don't give a, and it's just going to be crappy, then that's pretty much the kind of day you will encounter. And when you go into the day with I can't wait to see what kind of miracles I'm going to encounter today. I can't wait to see what kind of magic it's going to be today and who I'm going to meet and what crazy synchronicities I'm going to have. Completely different day. Your beliefs create the framework how you deal with life, how you view life. Is life safe or not safe? Is the world safe or not safe? Is the world welcoming? How often do you hear people complaining about situations and you go, gosh darn it, I didn't even encounter it like that. I didn't have the same experience as them. Isn't that interesting that they could have such a negative experience with the same thing that I just experienced? And that will tell you a lot about yourself. So look at your life right now and you will know which kind of beliefs are at work. If you constantly keep being betrayed by other people, that means that you have some very strong beliefs about not being able to trust people and how in the end effect people will betray you. Pitching, got another one. See? That's just what it is. That's all it is. And it's just a well-rehearsed behavior, which then over time, when we repeat it again and again and again and again, becomes a belief. You can change that. I've changed beliefs at that depth. I've seen hundreds and thousands of people change beliefs at that depth. Core beliefs about our safety, core beliefs about who we can trust, core beliefs about the goodness of the world, or if there is a higher power, which so many people all of a sudden open up to. So you can do a lot, my friend, and no matter how stuck you think you are, trust me, there is hope. Blessed be, there is hope, my dear. If there's any part of you right now that's going, oh, I've tried everything and it's still not working, or perhaps I'm just stuck with it and it can't be done, blessed be, my friend, there is hope, trust me. And there are enough people here in our circle who can also confirm that. So it takes you being aware of it. That's number one. You got to know that it's going on. Otherwise, there's no point in doing anything with it. So yeah, be aware, celebrate the awareness, be happy that you're being aware, be grateful that you are being aware, and then you can start making that commitment to yourself of at least checking it out, perhaps giving it 30 days. That's how I like to do a lot of things. Hey, I'm just doing a 30-day experiment here. Actually, I'm wrapping up one right now, the RAS experiment that I announced 6 weeks ago, came to a conclusion with it, loved every minute of it, have a fabulous flip chart that I did, got my little stickers with my daily exercises that I did. So guys, experiments happen to work for me, okay? I love that framework that I can put around it, and then I play with it. And that's what I would love to invite you to do, is to find some kind of a framework that you can put around it that is fun, that is easy, that is joyful, that then helps to hold you accountable so that you will actually do the work. So that you are actually journaling every day and just let it pour out of you and say, okay, what are some of those beliefs that I haven't thought in forever and that somehow fit into my life circumstances right now? Why do I always create these weird self-sabotaging circumstances after I'm getting a great success? Why do I lose relationships after I'm doing XYZ? Start pouring it out and you will start seeing patterns. You will start seeing themes that are popping up. And this is going to give you some incredible information to what's really going on in here. And it's always fascinating to me when I talk to people in my age and above, and I'm going really way up there, and they're still telling me, I just found another belief of mine. Because, as one of my mentors said many years ago, the journey probably never ends. The self-discovery journey, the healing journey, the learning journey. And your issues are going to be a lot more fun. And that's how I feel usually about 99% of the stuff that I'm dealing with. That I can put at least some kind of like, hey, 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 I know this is happening for a reason. Yay, we're going to make the best out of it. And the turnaround time doesn't have to be weeks or months of just desperation and being depressed about it and not knowing what to do and agonizing and using up all that brain space. Usually it happens in a couple of days nowadays, if it's a biggie. And that's what I'm wishing for everybody, that we're all able to really handle those kind of situations really well, okay? So that's the invitation, by checking out your belief system and really digging deep into what are my core beliefs about myself, about life, about the world, about other people, possibility. Those are the three key points of beliefs work, according to Robert Dilts, one of the leading contributors to NLP, which is you got to believe that it's possible, that it can be done at all. You got to believe that it's probable, which means you can do it, I can do it, we can do it. We can actually do it ourselves. Not just watching someone else out there saying, well, they can do it. No, you got to believe it's probable for you. And the third one's my favorite. We got to deserve it. We got to believe that we deserve it with a whole heart. With all the good and the bad and the ugly and who we are and the mistakes we've made and the life story that we have behind us and the whatever crappy patterns we learned as children because of our surroundings and how we were treated. No matter of any of that stuff and how that influenced you in the past, when you want to change your patterns, when you want to bump up your energy and your vibration, your consciousness, then you definitely need to also bump up your level of worthiness and deservingness. And for those of you who this is a very hot topic for, I would like to mention another one of my mentors from actually a spiritual background, who once said, simply through the fact that you were born and are on this earth, you are worthy. You don't have to earn it. You are worthy and deserving. If that's the only thing that you're taking with you today, then I'm the happiest. If that's something that you desperately needed to hear, and that's why it had to be said today. Thank you for bringing that into the ether, my friend. You want to have those statements that are clear and concise and are creating the framework of the world that you want to live in. The world is safe. The world is good. People are inherently good. It's amazing. I always encounter good people. Old Turner belief, right? It always turns out better than expected. We're having so much fun with that belief. I can trust people. I usually hang out with people I can trust. I attract people, trustworthy people into my life. When you start affirming those kind of phrases and affirmations, you will change the quality of people you will attract into your life. And if you're still not doing it, then you need to do the deeper work. What does it do for me that I keep attracting those kind of people into my life? Okay, that's important. If the affirmations, if the mantras, if the conscious decision to change a pattern does not work, and you're looking back 25 days later saying, oh gosh, I haven't really done it, then it's time to ask some deeper questions. What's going on with my belief system? Why is it important for me to hang on to this? How does it serve me? What does it get for me to do that? Those are the questions. Good questions, my friends. Those are the belief questions, how you can dig out those beliefs, those deep beliefs that we learned when we were young. And they are so precognitive, most of them. We didn't sit there and go, oh, gee, now I'm 5 years old. I'm going to come up with these beliefs now that I shall put in my beliefs book. No, stuff around you happened and you made snap decisions. That's how it is. This is how it works. This is how it goes. And then with repetition, it got deeper and deeper and deeper imprinted until it became your default. So we can change that by, like I said, becoming aware, making the decision, and then doing certain exercises, which again, I have other videos, multiple videos that you can find, and they always have a description that are actually very specifically about belief changes. So today is not so much about that. I just want to go through the beliefs. And today is more about simply imprinting the new beliefs. So yes, there are resources for you to deal with old crappy beliefs if they show up. And today is more about think of the beliefs that you would like to have as your resilient self. I adapt easily. Life is good. It's easy for me to adapt. I bounce back no matter. I usually respond very resourcefully. I don't mind stress. I'm okay with stress. I work through stress easily. I don't get discouraged easily. I love change. Woohoo! So, do you hear? Super quick, short, easy statements that are creating that framework. They're wrapping your experience into that very specific package of this is how I think about life. And therefore, life presents you more and more circumstances that fit those beliefs. And for those of you who have been around with me for a long time know what we're talking about. Of course, it's the RAS. It is that part in your brain that holds the framework for the experiences that are able to pass through that little filter into the whole processing of your brain and then can be sorted. I love the RAS work so much. And if you want to know more about that, definitely make sure you check out a lot more of my videos, especially on YouTube, okay? So this is a topic I will always visit again. I promise you that, because it is, in my perception, the button that we can push to truly make a difference in a person's experience when they start understanding what's going on in their belief systems and they're able to start working with that, okay? So definitely get yourself some more information on that. And for today, we are programming our RAS very specifically through the use of positive affirmations. So you might want to write them down. You might want to surround yourselves with that information about all those wonderful things you want to have in place for your RAS, for your belief system to support your resilient self. I am resilient. I'm a naturally resilient person. Someone asked you about that. Are you resilient? Oh yeah, I'm totally resilient. I wanted to come from you quickly, easily. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, that's who I am. No big deal. I'm resilient. So practice that so that you can start getting used to the idea that that's how easily that little phrase will come over your lips. Yeah, I'm resilient. Just like when someone would ask me, oh, you speak German? Yeah, I speak German. Oh, you used to study piano? Yeah, I used to study piano. Yeah, I'm resilient. Yeah, I bounce back really easily. When stuff happens, I bounce back very easily, usually. Imagine being that person and having that available to you whenever you need it. And there might be some strategies that you need to have in place. So for example, some of the strategies I've learned over time, first thing that immediately comes to mind is breathing. I was introduced to it in the mid-90s. Through my NLP training, we always did a lot of breathing exercises. We learned a lot about the importance of breathing, and it went in. And from that moment on, whenever I got into stressful situations, the first thing was take a deep breath. So that is considered a strategy, a little technique. In the moment that something stressful happens, physically step back and take a deep breath. Either I can actually physically take a step back with my feet, I can lean back a little bit, or I can imagine myself leaning back or stepping back. First thing that came to mind is I had some pretty hardcore turbulences on the last flight from Germany to America, and they got pretty tough. And I remember, because I'm not that hot on that kind of stuff, just going, again, leaning back, taking that deep breath, totally decramping my hands. That's another technique. Instead of doing this and clenching my jaw and my fists, I'm doing this. Totally relax, 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 relax. And then thinking like, everything is going to be okay. This is just a little turbulence. This is not a big deal. They know exactly what they're doing. The machine's made to do this. Da, 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 da. Everything is going to be okay. If you're laughing right now, seriously, turbulence? No, it was bad. Because trust me, I've been through some turbulence. And this was definitely one of those multiple feet shakers. So, one example, okay? Or if I'm getting involved in some kind of a disagreement between some other people and then I'm the bystander or I'm expected to say something or whatever, there can be this little thing about take a deep breath. Lean back and then just think naturally. What is the best contribution I can make right now? What is the correct way for me to respond right now? What is the most empowering way for me to respond right now? Do you hear the voice tone? It is calm, it's serene. I wonder what the best response is right now. So again, that is a practiced technique. That is something that at some point the little brain said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could do that? And then say, yeah, let's make that a strategy so that when I get into that situation, that's how I'm going to react. And because of the rehearsal that you're doing with your brain, the brain goes, oh, gee, I like this new option so much better than the old option of you freaking out and turning all red. And then you start to tense up and then mean words come out of your mouth that you didn't intend to say. I like this new strategy a lot better. Let's do that. And you will find yourself faster than you think, responding in new ways that are more empowering to you and other people. That's the magic of NLP. By becoming aware of it, by starting to rehearse a different pattern, honoring the old pattern, and yes, there might be some more work that needs to be done, different time. And for right now, you're rehearsing a new pattern and you're giving your brain a chance to try it out, to give it an opportunity to apply it. And lo and behold, it's going to work better. And then your brain says, oh man, that was so much better. I feel so much better right now. I'm a little proud of myself. This was so cool. Wow, we really did this. I think I'm going to do it again. And then your brain is going to do it again the next time. And you're going to do it even better. And then it's going to do it again and again and again until you have a new pattern. That's ultimately how it works. You are in charge of the journey because you can make it a very fast journey by, for example, making it an experiment, making it a project. Like I said, 30 days, 45 days. Hey, I got a cool 6-week project. I'm going to do this and that. Remember, I already announced my next project when I talked about method acting. And I'm like, ooh, I love the idea of method acting in the Quantum NLP framework of you're already assuming the behaviors and the thought process of the person you want to be, even so you don't feel like you're totally there yet. And yet you can practice that, which of course is going to make it come a lot faster. And that is one of those little strategies that I found recently because I love to research things like that. And I thought, man, method acting, wouldn't that be cool to put that in the NLP framework and then see what happens with the law of attraction by method acting certain beliefs and principles? So that's the project that I'm right now starting. It's about fun. It's about exploration. It's about excitement. It's about being adventurous. It's about being curious. And so find the kind of framework that works for you, that then entices you to say, I want to do that. I'm going to dedicate this next bit of time to this very specific theme so I can actually explore it. Because too many times people tell you that something didn't work without them ever actually giving it a chance. They heard about it, they studied it, perhaps one weekend workshop, never visited it again, never really practiced it. So how do you expect someone to play a piece on the piano when they have only looked at it twice, diddled it through, and then 6 weeks later they're supposed to play it, versus the person who played it 1 hour a day? And of course, with meaningful practice. That's a whole other wonderful workshop. Are you getting lots of ideas, my friends? Well, I'm definitely all pumped up about it. So you have so incredibly much influence about who you are becoming. You're not just being woven around by the wind, haphazardly being blown around. No, you have so much influence about how this journey goes and how you will respond to what's going on around you. Of course, we don't necessarily have influence about the stuff that is happening out there. What we 100% have influence over is how we respond to what's going on out there and how much we see it as a detriment or an opportunity. And that, for example, is a quality of being resilient. That in that moment that something happens, you go, I wonder what the learning lesson is. I wonder what I can learn here. I wonder what the meaning of this is. I wonder how this serves me. I wonder what the gift in this is. I wonder how this fits into my life's path. And just have those kind of ideas rattling around your mind in those moments. You have a completely different experience versus, oh my God, how devastating. Why me? Why did this happen to me? I can't believe this happened. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And we've all been there, of course. Now we're unlearning that to now have the more resilient behaviors in place, because I really believe that it's going to be a lot more useful, and it's also going to be a lot more needed. We are all dealing with the world, with all the issues that it's presenting to us right now, and we are in a major transition right now. And with transition comes a little bit of drama and a little bit of upheaval as we are experiencing it in the outside world. And therefore, for you to be resilient in your own life and to be a model for the other people around you, I really believe is our social responsibility, especially when we are the kind of person who exposes themselves to this kind of knowledge. So yeah, there's my soapbox and there's my accountability piece for you, because honestly, I really believe that we come with a certain social responsibility when we get to a certain level of consciousness and care about certain issues. It's okay to look away when you're ignorant and you really are not paying attention to it. But once you see it and you're looking away, you know how that feels, right? And you can't do that for long. It's not sustainable for our spiritual being. So you know what your button pushers are. You know what your themes are that touch you. Pick your battles. Pick those themes where you know you have a chance, where you know that you can have a positive influence on the system. And when I'm talking system, I'm talking from your smallest family unit to your neighborhood, to your community, to your society at large. And you get to choose on what level you want to play. Is that cool? And they're all valid, and they're all worthy, and they're all deserving of our attention. So I'm just really hoping that you're getting a lot of curiosity and excitement right now about what you can do with this. So it's all about managing your belief systems. It's really about managing your thought process of keeping that vision alive about yourself and keeping that internal dialogue alive with those positive frames, and especially those beliefs that you can say to yourself. It is about acting, moving your body on this earth in a way that it's useful, that you're nourishing yourself in a good way, and that you're able to act in a way that it's useful. What else? So we went through all of these, and then of course the strategies. So that's where we kind of left it off. The strategies that you can put into place, and you heard the repetitiveness in mine, right? There was always the breath. Then there is a physical movement, and I personally like, because I'm a very involved person, I need the distance, I need the dissociation for a millisecond so I can gather myself, so I can click on my brain and go, what's needed? What's the band-aid? What's the triage? What needs to happen right here? Depending on the situation. So having that quick little movement back gives me that moment to think versus reacting. I used to be a reactor. That's why I taught myself the deep breath and the stepping back, so I could become a responder. So now I can think and I can go, okay, this is what needs to happen first, second, third. And then in the other example I gave, there was also a step back again before I actually responded. It was about being participatory in some kind of a disagreement, right? And how I'm expected to show up, which is calming and nice. The internal dialogue, I'm here for a reason. This can be calm. Everybody has a positive intent. This is going to work out perfectly, and so on and so on. So I would like to invite you to craft that for yourself, that you're able to have that gestalt in your perception when you're thinking of yourself as a resilient person, that you're saying, I can see myself, I can hear myself, I can get a sense of myself, how they move in space, the kind of actions that they take. I can honor the kind of belief systems they have. I can see the kind of strategies that they're using. And here are some of those very, very specific actions. So for example, there is the deep breathing, there is that stepping back, there is that internal dialogue of this is going to work out, what do I need to do, what is needed here, what's the band-aid, what's the triage, that kind of stuff. And then also I can bounce back easily. I have the ability, this is easy, I've done this a million times. I have support, I have all the support I need. So that brings us now to the last step, to that physical manifestation, which is now the behaviors, because behaviors is where the rubber hits the road. Once you put it with a pencil on a piece of paper, it's sitting there. Now it's physical reality because you wrote it down. It is now captured in a physical sense. Does it make sense for that cynical mind of yours that said just now, well, the dream is not realized yet, it's just written on a piece of paper? What you just did is you took the idea out of the vortex and the words and the feelings, and you made it denser and denser. And by now putting it on paper, you're literally putting the dream into a realistic framework so that now it can turn into the actions which ultimately lead into the results. And that is a very, very powerful behavior. To have the vision and say, you know what, I'm going to put that on paper and I'm going to commit myself to that. And it's important enough for me that I'm actually going to put it on a Post-it note and I have it in 10 different places and I look at it every day, like my little RAS experiment. I had it in a prominent place where I would see it every day. I had my little sheet of stickers, my little Disney princess stickers that I used right there, so I can put them on every day after writing down a bunch of affirmations in my journal, which I, by the way, used up during the experiment and started another one. And with that, I dedicated 6 weeks to this very specific theme of reframing my RAS in very specific areas of my life. And I can definitely tell the difference between now and 6 weeks ago because of that effort that was being made, just like practicing a piece on the piano that would now sound probably a lot better than 6 weeks ago, right? Or the athletic thing that you practiced, dribbling a ball or doing throws. After 6 weeks of rehearsal, you will do better. Practicing a song, practicing singing a song, or a theater play, rehearsing a specific poem. Give yourself the opportunity to practice. And of course, that's where the support system comes in very heavily, because you need an accountability system. And if it's not a person, then use technology. Multiple alarms on my phone for multiple things that I'm doing. I have little apps for reminders for certain things that are important to me from a physical level, as well as from a spiritual level, as well as from a work level. I have my calendars. Then I have my flip charts that I love to surround myself by my calendars there as well, with certain outcomes. You can use a lot of different things in your life as accountability. And then you can also ask people to support you. You have certain people in your life that really care about you, that want you to do well. So find those people in those certain circumstances, in those certain areas where you would like to do better, and ask them for help. I would like for you to hold me accountable that I'm going to become more resilient. That's one of the things I'm dealing with. I'm having a lot of fears about my kids as they're growing older and leaving my house, and I'm aging and blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on. And I would like for you to hold me accountable and just ask me once in a while, hey, how you doing with all those changes going on in your life right now? And are you on your journey? Would you do that for me? And you can totally ask a friend to do that for you. There's nothing wrong with that. You deserve that. So that's what I would like to invite you to do, to think about the ways that you can enroll some other people, and you might become their accountability partner as well. When you like, and I would love to be there for you as well. Let's just deepen our relationship. Let's just take it to the next level. I would love to be there for you like that. So think about some of those people in your life that you would like to do this with. And some of the people that you are already accountability partners with, that you can deepen the relationship with. So think about that as well, okay? All right, my friends. Can you hear it? Yeah, that's my resilience. There's my little sweet family, and the baby is saying, okay, enough, Oma. You said 45 minutes, and there it is. Look at that. She's so on time. Ah, those little half Germans, what do you think? Still so punctual. It's right there in the DNA. Well, blessed be my friends. This was a lot of material today. Watch it again. Expose yourself to the information again. Take notes and make some commitments to yourself. Of course, I'm going to keep this series going, and I'm going to keep sharing information with you. And if you have very specific questions, please send them to me. I'm super excited to hear from you. Send me a message, and I will build those questions in. I promise you. Okay? Thank you so much for your participation. I thank every single person who was here today and who's going to watch this in the future. Thank you for your love and support, for keeping Quantum NLP going, and for keep practicing, my friends, because you know what? The law of attraction is all about actually applying it in our lives. It's not about just having it in our minds and being philosophical about it. No, you guys, these are life skills that we can use every single day. And that is my mission, to make that available to as many people as possible. So thank you for being there with me and for supporting that whole message. Have a wonderful day and happy practice. Bye-bye.